You know, the Nazis just asked for your papers. Now the government sticks their hands down your pants. We got federal grants nationwide to take warrantless blood checkpoints, setting up checkpoints where they take your blood warrantlessly. It's so funny. So they take something really serious, that they know serious, and they make it a big joke. He says he's being inappropriately touched. And the other lady, well, these people are so professional at the TSA. Oh, they're so professional. When my grandmother's on crutches, you know, yelling and screaming and telling her to hurry up. Or if you're on your cell phone after you go through screaming at you to turn it off when you're trying to find out about your flight. Or when they're dumping out all your goods on the table. Or when the TSA goes crazy and tries to pick up women. Or tries to plant drugs on them and says, but if you have sex with me, I won't call the police on you. But I didn't put that cocaine in there. And TSA people going crazy and stripping down naked and saying, I'm God, I'm God. Oh, you didn't hear about that? Or all the TSA people that have been caught being pedophiles or sex offenders. Every screwball nut in the country is going and getting a TSA job. And the good people that won't go along with this, they're all being fired, and they're building this army of oppression. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have them making fun of Jesse Ventura, making fun of you, and trying to ridicule the American people standing up and saying, we don't want this, and saying, oh, look, this would have saved them in Russia if they'd have had this. They did have the checkpoints. They did have the scanners. This was outside of the scanners. So now, checkpoints on the road coming in. There'll be a bombing on that. You got to have checkpoints on the highway out past that. Don't you see this system is meant to take over society? We'll be back with your phone calls and Obama's birth certificate.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, we're taking your phone calls and getting your response to the State of the Union by the globalist who's openly sworn to bring in world government and end our sovereignty. You heard him call for the carbon taxes and say, we got the cleanest air, the cleanest water. Really, the government adds poison to the water via fluoride. If you don't get behind their agenda and sit down and shut up, why, you're going to cause another shooting. I mean, it was just incredible, the message, that everybody's got to sit together and no one can argue. We need to shut up. That's not what a free society looks like. We're going to take your phone calls, and then coming up, the biggest development ever in Obama's birth certificate. It's now a near certainty that he was born in Kenya, and it's blown up in the governor's face politically. Abercrombie, that he said that he was going to get the birth certificate. As you know, a week ago, he said, well, I had trouble finding it, and it'll be a campaign issue. Now he's told a longtime friend and a very well-known reporter that indeed they can't find it, they can find nothing. This is a huge development. It's up at prisonplanet.com in an article by Paul Joseph Watson today with the audio of the reporter talking about his longtime, decades and decades long friend, the governor, telling him this just in the last week. Don, Matt, Rusty, John, Jim, Matt, Martina, Rick, Mega News Reader, Mike, Leo, Ridge Runner. We're going to at least get to your calls before I cover that. Then we have another guest joining us, getting into the State of the Union. Don in California, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, thanks, Alex. You know, I haven't heard you on the radio for 4 years. I moved out to L.A. here, and I can't get you. Not even online. I'm having trouble with that. And I don't know if you've covered this. I wanted to alert you to a serious situation, I think. I know it's a little bit off subject, but, you know, the same group that bought the World Trade Center complex 2 months before 9/11
has bought the Sears Tower, Larry Silverstein, and now they're trying to put their man, Rahm Emanuel, in Chicago.
Oh, okay. See, you're fully aware of it. Good. I'm glad you connected the dots to that.
Yeah, we covered it when he bought it 3 years ago.
Yeah, they said they announced they're going to paint it silver too, which is of course how nano explosives technology is applied. So they could easily stage another attack there and then blame it on the Iranians or whoever they want to.
You know, my mom, we took the kids, you know, on a trip this weekend. And she talked about in her gut, she thinks they're going to probably blow up the no longer the Sears Tower. Just when you put all the pieces together, I think you're on to something. Speaking of Rahm Emanuel, I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on just a second. Rahm Emanuel is famous for sending dead fish to people. That's a Sicilian message, even though he's not Sicilian, of you will sleep with the fishes. He's famous, of course, in front of the press, stabbing the table with a knife when he reads the names of political enemies and saying, dead, dead, dead. Our office, sent to our address, was sent by the Rahm Emanuel for mayor campaign. You know, we've been very critical of his mafia connections as of late, been focusing on that. My office was sent a letter from Rahm Emanuel thanking us for his support, for our support, and giving us a Rahm for mayor bumper sticker from Chicago. And I wonder if this is a joke by somebody in his office or if it's something more. Is this a little Chicagoland message? What do you think, Don?
I have no idea. He's a very strange character. His father was an Erdogan terrorist, though. And he's a very mean person. You know, everybody knows that. Yeah,
we've been covering that air gun situation for 3 years and just had Wayne Madsen on about it just a few days ago on Friday covering it. But absolutely, here's the Rahm Emanuel letter to me, thanking me for my support. Never supported him. Maybe somebody made a contribution or something as a joke in my name. I don't know why I got this. I hope it's not a veiled threat, but he's the type of guy that does it. Rahm for mayor, and I've got this right here. I really appreciate your call. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Wonder what that means. Here's another headline out of Wired. Even DHS is freaked out by spy drones over America and spy blimps. In fact, there was another article just yesterday. It was in my stack after I got off air about they have bought the drone. Now we have the photo. We covered it a few weeks ago. In Salt Lake, police have launched their new blimp.
Folks, you've heard us talk about Home Gain before. Home Gain is now offering a special promo where you get up to $150 when you buy or sell a home with a Home Gain agent you find through their Find a Realtor program. Home Gain lets you compare realtors anonymously. It's easy. Go to homegain150.com to find and compare realtors anonymously. Enter promo code HOMEGAIN150 and receive up to $150 when you close a deal with a Home Gain agent. Share the Home Gain 150 promo code with your friends via Facebook, Twitter, text, and more. Look for Max, the Home Gain Gorilla, to find out more about how Home Gain is going to pay you. Visit HomeGain150.com today to enter your promo code and get paid for buying or selling a house. That's HomeGain150.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, A solar power generator provides powerful backup, insurance, and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As they're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
20 years ago, before I was even on air, I was watching Alexander Haig with some bizarre cable show he had that aired in Austin, admitting that he was behind a company to put giant spy blimps above 100,000 feet in the air with face-scanning cameras, license plate readers, you name it. That was when I first learned about that. Then about 10 years ago, right before 9/11, FEMA started announcing they were testing giant blimps over cities. You got to use a telescope to see them. When folks started seeing these in the last 6-7 years, the news would not say, oh, it's a Homeland Security blimp. They would say, is that an alien spacecraft? I've got ABC News aiming cameras at it in Dallas and in Salt Lake City, Utah, with propellers on them and saying, is it a flying saucer? Not saying, look, it's a blimp. See, because your government wouldn't spy on you. It has to be aliens. And then I've been made fun of everywhere for saying there's government blimps, even though they're all admitted. But here's an article dealing with it. Even DHS is freaked out by spy drones over America. Police departments around the country are warming up to unmanned spy planes, but don't expect the police department or the Homeland Security Department to catch drone fever anytime soon. Again, police departments around the country are warming up to unmanned spy planes, but don't expect the Department of Homeland Security to catch drone fever anytime soon. It's too controversial for an agency already getting hammered for naked scanners and junk touching. Sure, DHS flies some predators along the U.S.-Mexican border, but a broader deployment above the majority of American skies to stop terror attacks, not likely. See, either this writer, Spencer Ackerman, is ignorant or they're lying to you because you could just search Homeland Security launches surveillance blimps and drones, and you can see one in an MSNBC article from 2004 above D.C. being launched. And they're unmanned. They've got their power source, solar panels all over the top skin. So during the day, they get the power. There's cameras, face scanners, infrared scanners. It's a lot cheaper than launching satellites into orbit. And then it can fly around looking through the clouds and surveilling you. But here's one dealing with Utah. And Utah pops up over and over again. It's one of the main testing grounds of these from our research. It says Ogden, Utah buys its police a blimp. And it is a gigantic sucker, very large. It's got the cameras on it and all the other goodies. It is, of course, solar powered, and it just flies around watching you. So there you go. And Homeland Security says, oh, they're not involved in this. Baloney. They're paying for it all with grants. And has nothing to do with terror.